Good morning everyone, I hope you're all well. So I just went to edit this video and realised that I forgot to film the intro, which is great, but luckily it's the same day. I'm in the same clothes and I have the same makeup on. This video is actually going to be like a new in try on beauty product video. Catchy name. But I just thought I've got a few new beauty products, mainly makeup, that I want to try on and chat to you guys about. I've really enjoyed watching these videos recently, so I've got a lot of new makeup from like Hourglass, Charlotte Tilbury, Mercier, and then I've got a new skincare brand that I really want to talk about as well. So at the end of the video, I'm going to go into my bathroom and try those on and kind of show you how they work. So yeah, a really casual, sit down, chatty video. I really hope you enjoy it. And the next clip you're going to see is me makeup free, so thanks for watching. Okay, I'm gonna start by tying my hair back because otherwise it's just gonna get in my way. And this actually is also new. I got sent this. It's by Invisibobble, who are the people who make those really clever hair bands, but they've started to do like scrunchies. So inside I can feel it's like a normal Invisibobble, but it's got a scrunchie on the outside. And this one's leopard print, and I think it's really fun, and I've been using this loads when I'm at home. Hopefully it won't put too much of a crease in my hair. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is this bag. This is from Space NK. You guys have probably seen the black travel bag that they did. They're so great. They're clear plastic travel bags. Apparently these are airport security approved, although I do think every airport around the world has very different rules, so I can't promise that, but I've heard people kind of say both, that it works and it doesn't work. But either way, it's just a really great makeup bag. So they had the black one and they've recently brought it out in yellow and blue. And I love the yellow one. So I've got everything I'm going to talk about in there. So I thought I would show you that. So the first thing I'm going to use is a primer. And I actually got this when I went to Ibiza with Nars. It's their Radiance Primer. And I've really been enjoying using this recently. It just gives such a gorgeous glow to the skin. But I have been mixing it with my Smashbox primerizer just because I have really dry skin at the moment. This just gives so much moisture. I reckon this would be enough by itself, but I just really like to mix them, so I do like 2 small pumps of the Smashbox primer. I love the packaging of this. It's in such a small handy tube. It's so easy to pack in a makeup bag. So when it comes out, you don't know if you can see, but it kind of comes out pink. It's actually really pink. And then when you put it on the skin, oh, it just gives such a nice glow. I think it was Jamie Genevieve when we were away who was like, oh my god, you need to try it, it's so good. I think I might zoom you guys in a bit. So I just put that all over my skin, and as you can see, it kind of instantly brightens and adds a bit more glow. And then I'm just going to use my usual IT Cosmetics CC cream because I haven't really got any new foundations. I was going to try the new Becca one, but after watching a few YouTube reviews, I think it's going to be a little bit too matte for me. IT Cosmetics actually have a new CC cream in a matte finish, but obviously that won't work for my skin type. But if you do have like oilier skin types and you've always wanted to try this, then definitely check out the matte version. Okay, I'm just gonna like bop this in with my Real Techniques complexion sponge, and I'll come back to you. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want like crazy amount of coverage today. I can go in with more and kind of build it up, but the next product I'm going to show you is concealer, and I think that will add some more coverage where I need it. So this is new from Charlotte Tilbury. It's without a doubt the most requested item from this video. When I asked like, what do you want me to try that's new in beauty for this video, everyone was like, Charlotte Tilbury concealer, Charlotte Tilbury pillow talk. Charlotte Tilbury products are really popular, and I'm not surprised. I absolutely love them as well. This is a new product for her. It's the Magic Away liquid concealer. So it comes in her like standard rose gold packaging. It looks very chic. You pull off the lid, which is always quite tricky to do, and it's got this sponge applicator at the top. Now I find that these sponge applicators get really grubby and dirty very easily. But I was talking to Anna about this the other day, and we were saying how we kind of get why it has to be like this because of the formula. It's like a little bit thicker. I think if it was in a doe foot, it would be too heavy, and if it was in like a squeezy tube, you'd apply too much. Although I personally would prefer it to be in a doe foot, and then I would just put less concealer on. This one you kind of twist up from the bottom, and you can see how much concealer you've got left, which is actually very clever. So you twist it up from the bottom, and then you apply it with a sponge. This is obviously great if you are on the go, if you're doing your makeup on the train. It's very easy, you don't need a brush. So I'm gonna apply this to my chin. I've got a very spotty chin at the moment. Around my nose, down my nose, and then under my eye. And this really is a beautiful concealer. I'm going to use my Real Techniques setting brush. Sometimes I finish it with a damp sponge, but I'm just going to buff it in with the brush for now. Kind of reminds me of, I'm trying to think what to compare it to. The Bare Minerals concealer, which I still use every day and love, is more creamy. This is definitely more liquid. It's a liquid concealer, but with like really decent coverage, and it doesn't feel heavy. It looks glowy. Like when I start to blend it into the skin, it doesn't sit in the creases under my eye. It doesn't kind of age me. But I find that a lot of concealers that I try don't give enough coverage. As you can see, I like to put like a small amount of foundation or tinted moisturizer on, and then I kind of build up the coverage where I need it with the concealer. So it blends in really easily. Sometimes I just like to really blend it in with the sponge. It's just really nice. I really rate this concealer, even though it's got a gross sponge on it. So it doesn't come out too fast. Can you see I have to kind of really press quite hard? That's the only thing. I think when you're like topping up your concealer with this, it's quite tricky because you feel like you're ruining the work underneath when you kind of use the sponge on top. I just love the formula though. I really, really do like it. I think it's less heavy and cakey compared to the Nars one and the Urban Decay concealers, both of which I don't really use anymore because they're just too heavy for me. I really, really like that concealer. So that is new and very exciting. I'm just gonna put a bit of bronzer on now. I haven't got a new bronzer to show you. At the moment I'm using the Too Faced Milk Chocolate bronzer, which I used to really like, but I don't know if it's just the part of the new packaging, but it seems to be a lot more powdery than it used to be. So I find it hard not to like put too much on. That's why I'm using like a bigger, fluffier brush compared to what I normally use. Because otherwise I end up with too much of like a harsh line where I apply my bronzer. So I am in the market for a new bronzer. If anyone has tried anything new and great, please comment down below on this video and let me know. I'm just gonna add a little bit under my cheekbones. Okay, the next product is also a very highly requested one for me to talk about. It's part of the Charlotte Tilbury new Pillow Talk collection. So she's released a Pillow Talk Cheek to Chic, which are her blushes, and a Pillow Talk eyeshadow palette. Pillow Talk was one of her lipstick shades, which I absolutely love. It's like one of my all-time favorite lipsticks, a really gorgeous like matte lipstick. It's part of her Matte Revolution range. So if you're after a nice like matte, it's kind of like a nudie pink. It's quite a pinky nude. That's a really gorgeous lipstick. So I was very excited about this launch. It's like right up my street as a real Pillow Talk fan. And the Pillow Talk lip liner, which is also really, really great. So this is the blusher. Her blushes look like this. They have kind of the darker shade around the edge and then a lighter colour in the middle. Everyone always says they look like nipples, which they do. So the inner shade is kind of more of a highlight, but I normally just swish them all around together and get like a real mix. So let me show you what this blusher looks like. It's really, really nice. I tend to just put a little bit on the apples and then kind of work it up. It's quite subtle, as you can see. It's not like really peachy, it's not really pink. I just think this whole Pillow Talk colour on lips and everywhere is just the perfect pink. I really like this blusher. I think it's really, really nice. So that's what it looks like. I would definitely keep that and use that like every day. I think that's gonna become my new favorite blusher. At this point, I just wanna fill in my brows because I start to feel weird. My brows look funny. I haven't got a new brow product to use. There is a new Benefit one out, but it doesn't really look like my kind of thing because there's just like, it's one of those old-fashioned pen styles where there's lots of different options, and all I use is just a pencil. I don't kind of need anything else, so I'm just using the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which I just think is a classic. It's really good. It's got a pencil on one end and a spoolie brush on the other. I literally just fill the arches of my brows. I'm too lazy with my brows. That's kind of all I do. And then I just use the Hourglass Clear Brow Gel, which I'm still loving. I need to get another one of these. I just run it through and that kind of sets it in place. Also, the thing I like about this Charlotte Tilbury concealer is usually at this point when I've applied concealer, I get like a massive crease line of concealer on my eyelids, but because this one doesn't kind of let loads of product out and it's like a little bit thicker, that doesn't really happen, so that is great. Let's move on to eyes. So I have the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeshadow quad. So there's 4 colours in here. There is a pale pinky kind of highlight colour, a pale pink, a more medium brown, and then a kind of shimmery glittery pink. This is definitely more of like a pinky toned eyeshadow palette, if you haven't guessed already. It reminds me of that Naked palette. I don't remember which one, maybe it was like the third one that was really kind of like, had like a pink haze to it. And I actually quite like pinky toned eyeshadows. I don't usually use the kind of glitter pop colour in Charlotte Tilbury's palettes. That's normally a bit wasted on me. It's there if you like it, and it's quite nice to just pat it on at the end with your finger. But I also have some other eye products to show you. So I think what I will do is I'll use a couple of shades from here, and then I'll use the other products on top. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this really pale pink shade here. By the way, guys, I hope you liked our podcast this week. We came back after our 2-week break. And we have another episode on Wednesday, and then that's our last one of the season. I can't believe it. We've been doing this season for so long, and it's had some serious highs and serious lows. We've had so many amazing guests, but we also really struggled. Like, we had a lot of guests lined up that let us down, or there were so many different reasons, and it's been quite tricky actually to pin people down this season. But I'm so happy with the guests that we had, and the feedback on the podcast has been amazing, so thank you. So there'll be one more on Wednesday with 2 special guests. Bit of a spoiler there. I think you guys are gonna absolutely love it. So Wednesday at home with, check your iTunes or Acast apps. Okay, so I've put the pinky tone all over. I'm gonna add a little bit of brown, just like on the outer part of the lid and into the crease. This is still one of my favorite ever eyeshadow brushes. It's from Laura Mercier. It's the Finishing Eye. So good because it's like one of those duo fiber brushes, so you don't apply the product too heavy. Apparently it's also very good for concealer. Okay, now I'm just going to take a smaller brush and I think I'm going to mix them both together actually, the pink and the brown. Not sure if I would use these two as much, like the highlight colour or the glitter colour. But I'm just going to apply that under the eye. So that is what the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeshadow palette looks like. There are so many quads in her range to pick from. So if you're not so into like the pinky colours, there are some other amazing ones as well. But I think this is going to be really popular actually. I think that will suit a lot of people. The next products, I haven't really looked at much. I got these in my PO box and I was like, ooh, these are interesting. There were like 5 or 6 shades, but I just picked out the 2 which kind of appealed to me the most. These are the Hourglass Scattered Light glitter eyeshadows. So as I just said, not massively into the glitter, but these do look quite exciting. So I've got here Smoke and come in these like really cute little boxes. Smoke and Foil. Let me open them up. When you open them, they've got these little pressers, which just makes me think these are gonna be messy. Let's not spill it on my new carpet. That would be bad. Foil is definitely more of like a yellowy gold, and then Smoke is a much warmer bronze, but both have like some serious glitter going on in there. Silver, green, and gold, like flecks. I feel like the yellowy gold is gonna be too much for me. Oh, sugar. Let's just see what happens if I take a MAC 217, put a little bit on my brush and then just like pat it onto my eye. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay, they're very soft. It's very like soft formula. God, I'm gonna end up with glitter all over my face. So it's definitely like coming off the brush easily. So far, nothing's fallen down onto my cheek. It looks really nice and smooth. I like the look of applying it over a shadow. I don't think it's got much like colour to it, so I think that's actually a good way to go. Let's do the other eye. I'm really putting like a small amount on my brush. You don't need much at all. I guess it's kind of coming up to Christmas party season. Is that kind of jumping the gun a bit? How is it like almost Christmas already? I mean, I guess we're still in September, but if you're starting to think about Christmas party looks, then these might be right up your street. I actually like that a lot more than I was expecting. If I kind of look down, can you see? I hope it's picking up on camera. That's actually really nice. That's all I'm gonna put on because it's a Tuesday, I'm at home all day, and I just don't really need to have glittery eyeshadow on. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is put on a bit of eyeliner, just because I feel weird not having eyeliner on. This isn't new or exciting, this is just MAC Teddy. Just putting a little bit along my lash line. Now let's talk mascaras, because I have 3 new mascaras that have recently launched, and I always get asked about mascaras. I think it's just the sort of product that everyone buys. Like even people who aren't that into makeup, my friends are obsessed with mascaras. Whenever I have like stuff to give away to friends, they're like, oh, do you have a mascara? Which I never do, because I always try the mascaras I get sent, and you're not supposed to share mascaras because of like eye infections and stuff. So anyway, I've got 3 here that have all been like very much talked about that I thought I would quickly chat to you guys about. So the first one is the Nars Climax mascara, which you guys know about because I went to Ibiza for the launch for this. So we didn't know before the trip what they were going to be launching, and I was very excited to hear it was a mascara, and the packaging for this is unreal. It's so great. I really love it. It's this like red tubing effect. I feel like this mascara has been a bit controversial because it's one of those mascaras, a bit like the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes, that either people love it or they hate it. And you guys know I've got really kind of easy lashes. They're quite long and curly anyway, and I don't know why, I guess I'm just like a dry person through and through, but mascaras never smudge on me. So although I've heard that this smudges on other people, it doesn't smudge on me, and I really like it. It gives really nice length and definition and curl, like it's a triple whammy. I love it, but I just wanted to give a disclaimer that I know it smudges on some people. So if you're the sort of person that usually wears waterproof mascaras, then hold out, because maybe they'll bring out a waterproof version one day. But if you don't normally suffer from mascaras smudging on you, then give this a go, because I really like it. And I've seen that it's sold out in a few places, so I think people were really excited about that. Another one I want to talk about is the Hourglass Caution Extreme Lash Mascara. I literally hate the packaging for this so much. It's in this like triangle shape. It's quite similar to their foundation. I don't know why, I just don't like it. It's not easy to hold. I don't think it looks great. But the mascara is so good. I was wearing this in my Instagram stories when I was talking about the Nars mascara, and everyone was like, what mascara are you wearing now? And it's this. This one gives the most kind of length and separation. This is a really good, if you want like a daytime natural but quite striking makeup look. It's not like thick, full, fluttery lashes. It's just very separate and glossy and pretty. And I think this is great. Although I would note that this dries out really quickly. Like the first few times I used it, I absolutely loved it. And then recently I've been like, oh, it's not quite as good. It feels like it's clumping a bit. So the formula does tend to like dry out. The one I'm gonna use today is from YSL, and it's called the Curler. Is it called the Curler? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's called the Curler. And I've only used this once and I can't really remember what I think of it. So I thought this is a good one to use on camera so I can kind of form an opinion. Obviously, due to its name, it's got a really curly, kind of curved wand. And I never know which side to use on mascaras like this. I'm gonna use the inside first. And kind of, I find that when you use the inside, it's quite hard to grip onto the lashes. I'm gonna use the underside. I find this brush is quite tricky to grip the lashes, if that makes sense. Sometimes I'll use a mascara and it just like sorts my lashes out and it puts them in the right place, and it's really easy to use. Whereas I feel like this one, I'm gonna have to spend quite a bit of time going over the lashes and making sure they're all coated. I feel like I'm not getting enough product on them. So that's a bit annoying. I'm not sure this is for me. I just said that I always like mascaras, but this one doesn't feel easy to use. You know how some mascaras are just, you don't even have to think about it. It's given nice lashes, but as I said, my lashes are pretty easy and they always look all right. I wouldn't say this is the best. So I think out of these 3, I would, ooh, it's kind of a bit of a draw between, this would be third, the YSL. And then if it wasn't for the drying issue, Hourglass would come first and then Nars, but we'll see what happens with that. It's a bit strange how I loved it at the beginning and it's kind of not as good now. Okay, the next step, and I think the final step for makeup, because I haven't really got any new lipsticks to show you. This is new from Laura Mercier. I went to an event for the launch of this and it was very glam and exciting. They're kind of doing like a massive rebrand, which is really cool because Laura Mercier has always been that brand which is like in Space NK and it's a classic and your mum knows it and they've been around forever. I think they're kind of doing a bit of a revamp to make the brand a little bit younger and cooler and relevant, and it's exciting to see. They've got a new logo and stuff, so we will see what they do. But everyone's heard of the Laura Mercier translucent powder. It's like a cult product everyone loves it. It's just a beautiful loose setting powder. So what they've done is they've launched a new version of that, but it's the setting powder with an extra added glow. There's a translucent one, which just means that there's no color, and there's a medium deep one, which is obviously great for darker skin tones, but also just great if you want like a bronzy look. I haven't tried the brown one yet. I think Anna said she really likes that. I think I would use that more in the summer, and I would use that more like targeted on like a certain, you know, just there, that would look nice. But the translucent one I really love. So what I do is I just tap some product into the lid, about that much product if you can see, and then they've also brought out a new brush, which I don't think you need to buy. You could use any powder brush, but I'm just going to use it today to show you guys. It's curved so that it perfectly fits your cheekbones. And just in case you're wondering, the reason I'm using this at the end instead of like as a setting powder is because it's got that glow. I like to use it more as a highlighter, and it is very glowy. So what I do is I take this brush and I swish it around the lid, and you kind of press quite hard to really get the product into the brush so it's fully coated. And then using this brush, I'm going to sweep it up into the cheekbones. So it's not really used the same as their setting powder. I'm going to put a bit up here as well and a little bit down my nose, because the setting powder is to set your foundation, whereas this is glowy. And in the sunlight, I would say that it is quite glittery, but unless you're in direct sunlight, it's very subtle and it does add a really nice glow. I feel like it's not going to pick up on camera. I feel like this would be good if something like the Becca highlighters are too much of a kind of sudden highlight, and other things like creams are just too complicated to use. This is really good because you can kind of just like apply it, not worry too much, and you know you've got a bit of a glow, but it's nothing drastic. It just adds like a nice glow to the skin. So I hope that that's picking up on camera. I don't want to kind of overdo it too much, but I think that's actually a really cool product, and I've never really tried anything like it. So that is new from Laura Mercier. Okay, so that is my makeup done. By the way, guys, have you noticed that I had my hair colored? I got all the ombre taken out my hair, so there's no like lighter shades there, and it feels really dark. Like the ends are almost black, but I think the more I wash it, it will kind of chill out a bit. And I like it. I just think it's a bit different. It's nice for autumn, winter. Let me know what you think of the darker hair. I haven't been like fully brown for ages. So what I'm going to do is later tonight when I'm getting ready for bed, I'm going to head into the bathroom and I'll show you some new products that I'm trying in there. It's basically just one range, but a few different products that I really want to talk to you about that's new in Space NK. So I'm going to get on with my day. The next clip you will see of me will be this evening in my bathroom. Okay, I'm in my bathroom. I'm in my Spice Girls pajama t-shirt, and I'm going to keep this short because I want to go to bed. I've just watched Bake Off and Naked Attraction and First Dates Hotel, and I'm like ready for bed. So I've just washed my face, and the products I want to talk to you about are by a brand called May Lindstrom, and they've recently started stocking them at Space NK, which is why I thought it would be a good chance to like tell you guys about them. I actually met May herself last week, and she was amazing. I love meeting brand founders because it makes you really truly understand the brand, and it makes me personally feel way more passionate about the products and understand the pricing behind them and the ingredients. And I wish I could replicate everything she said to me, but I just, there was so much information. So I'll try and link some videos down below maybe, because I think she's done some online and you guys might be interested. But I picked 4 products from her range to try after she kind of went through every product and what they do. They are very expensive, but they are amazing. Anna's been talking about the Youth Dew for ages and I've wanted to try it. So I've got a few things here. First of all, the Jasmine Garden. This is a kind of mist, and I think you could definitely get this from other brands for cheaper. But she told me to use this like when you come out the shower or after you've washed your face, and it kind of helps the products go into your skin better. So I've been using this as like a midway step in between my skincare routine. So I just close my eyes, spray a bit on my face. It's very refreshing. It smells very like natural. That's the only way I can kind of describe it. Okay, and then I've got 3 other products here. I don't want this video to be too long. This one is the Honey Mud Gentle Enzyme Cleanse and Mask. So there are 2 ways you can use this. First of all, look at it. It's like a thick mud. It smells like chocolate to me. So sweet and delicious, really like natural smelling again. And these have no like fake fragrances in or anything, so they're really good for my like sensitive skin. She said either use a tiny bit to cleanse with, take a little bit on your finger, mix it with water and cleanse, or you can really layer it on and use it as a mask. I'm not going to do it now because I haven't really got time, but it's really super thick, and I used it as a mask the other night and I loved it. I don't really want to use it as a cleanser because it feels like a waste to wash it off, but using it as a mask is amazing. And then the two other products that I have, I've been using together on her recommendation. So the first one is the Blue Cocoon, and then the other one is the Youth Dew. So the Blue Cocoon is crazy. It's like a blue tansy, so it's naturally blue. I've used like a tiny bit already. And this is like a super thick balm, really hydrating. Anna says she takes this traveling with her, which is a really good thing to do with it. May carries this in her handbag, like she carries the full size in her handbag. That's how much she loves it. So you can either kind of use that on its own, on targeted areas. She suggested mixing it with the Youth Dew, which I have been doing in the evening. And this is a super serum. Is it a serum? It's more of an oil, balancing facial serum. It says serum, I feel like it feels more like an oil, and it's so amazing. I'm just gonna put literally one, maybe 2 pumps. This is the sort of product you go to bed, like feeling properly like oiled up and smelling amazing. Oh my God, it smells so good. Makes my skin feel so hydrated and glowy. I get into bed and Rich is like, oh my God, what have you been doing in there? Also, I love the name Youth Dew. Makes me feel like I'm gonna look very youthful after using it. So I've been using that in the evening, especially now the weather's getting cooler. This is perfect for my type of skin. And then sometimes I mix in a little bit of the Blue Cocoon. Oh, it's so good. I think the standout product for me is probably the Honey Mud, just because it feels really special and different. Like I feel like the oil feels a little bit similar to the Sarah Chapman one. The Blue Cocoon is also actually really unique. The spray I feel like I could probably get from other brands, but the Honey Mud, very special product. Okay, back to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did. I think next week's video is going to be a style one, and I'm very excited to film some kind of new clothing bits that I've got in for autumn. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.